track.
Vas-y, c'est parti.
10, 9, ignition sequence start.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Got Spouse Need House podcast. My name is Loretta Cernowski. I'm the CEO and founder of this company. We are an organization that works with realtors across the globe when you are ready to buy or sell a property. And because you've gone through the great process of getting married or getting engaged, we understand that that's a costly venture. And so we reward you with 10% of the realtor's commission on closing of your property. So while you're going through that super exciting experience, we offer lots of resources and experts across the globe to talk about different aspects of what you are going through. And today we have a super fun guest from Nashville that's going to talk about proposal planning. Wow, I had no idea there was such a thing. Zach Hartman, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company?
Sure. Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for having me on the show. So I've been doing this ever since COVID, to be completely honest, and I just felt like we wanted to bring something positive back to everyone's lives, and it was just such an interesting time for everybody, a really hard time for everybody, and being able to provide a service for guys or girls that were going through this engagement process and not really knowing how to do it, right? I mean, let's be honest. Like my dad, he's the worst, right? Like in terms of proposing, he put the ring in my mom's purse while they were driving and said, "Hey, look in your purse." I mean, you can't get much worse than that, right? So when he heard that I opened up this company, he laughed and he's like, "I'm proud of you. Now you can help the other men like me out there." So
Right. Yeah, well, I would have to say that probably, I mean, it's supposed to be one of the most memorable occasions of your life, and I'm sure most people just don't have the words of what to say. So, can you walk us through exactly what you do?
yeah, 100%. So when someone reaches out to me, it's usually because they're nervous. To be completely honest, they're nervous. They're really not sure what to do. Um, and quite frankly, they might not even have any idea in mind. They just know they really care about this person and they want to make it special. So my whole goal is to take the stress out of love, right? Like I really wanted that to be the coined term that we use because I use it for every one of my clients. I'm going to take care of the venue planning. I'm going to take care of the photographer and the musician. And if there's anything special to your relationship, we write that down, we take notes, and we make sure those items are there for you. If there's specific decorations, if they wanted the big glitz and glam, or if they wanted something simple, we make it happen for them. So literally all they have to do is show up with the ring and we take care of the rest.
So, let's just go backwards a little bit. So, a guy decides he wants to propose to his girlfriend, has no idea, so he calls you. I mean, do you say, "Okay, do you wanna like have it like in Times Square on the billboard," or do you ask some discovery questions, or how do you come to the decision if they have no idea what they want to do?
Yeah. So basically, I ask, hey, how long have you guys been dating? What are some of the things that make your relationship special? Have you gone on any trips or have special dates? Where do you want this to take place? Because, even though we're headquartered in Nashville, Tennessee, we are stationed in three other states as Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and New Orleans. We're expanding to Dallas and Charlotte. But we've done some even outside of that. We've done one in Colorado. We've done in Pennsylvania. We've done one in New York, but not New York City. But the point is, we can do it anywhere. It really comes down to what the client wants and truly what their budget allows them to do.
Right. Okay. So How do you balance like the logistics with everything and the spontaneity of which it's supposed to be?
Yeah. So, the main thing is how do we keep it like exactly like you said, how do we keep it spontaneous, create that ruse, and yet still keep it a surprise? And a lot of times when you don't have a service like ours, the guy is going to enlist help from his lady's friends, right? But then
Yeah.
they get all giddy, they get all excited, and then usually something usually slips or they're a little too out of place because they're so happy. And it usually doesn't end up being a surprise throughout the entire ruse that is required. So we like really value ourselves in saying, hey, we, your entire friends and family don't know us, but we are now your best friends for the next few weeks as we plan this for you on your behalf. And we keep that excitement and hype going. We're completely confidential. We've even done high-end clients. We've done football players. We've done MLB players. We've even done some actors. So sometimes there's discretionary things that we have to be like, okay, we have to keep this under wraps. So whether you are just a normal guy looking to propose or a high-end client, we want to make sure that spontaneity is there, the ruse stays intact, and it becomes a surprise for everybody.
Of course. Can you tell us about, I know there's probably some, like you said, discrepancy. Can you tell us about your most elaborate proposal
Huh.
client?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many. There's so many. But I mean, there was one. Um, he wanted 30, 30 to 40 of his family to be there, but he didn't want them to be there like right at the proposal. He wanted them to be there like right afterwards. But that wasn't as it's not as simple as you think, because at the same time he wanted a plane flying across the sky with the girl's name on it saying, "Will you marry me?" And then as soon as the plane was out of the air like direction of the place that we're at, he wanted these big fireworks to go up because you can't have a plane and fireworks at the same time. And so here we are coordinating all of this to buy these fireworks to make them go 30 feet in the air, 40 feet in the air, with the plane going across the sky, family and friends coming up to the proposal spot all at the same time. So that was like one of the bigger ones, that we had done in the past that took a lot of coordination. And that doesn't even involve just the setup in general, the decorations in general, So there was definitely some thought behind it.
So, have you ever had one go wrong?
Okay, so I'm gonna knock on some wood right now, but no, we have not. We're going on almost 6 years strong, maybe 5.5 years, and we've just hit. Well, this Friday we have two proposals, so we're gonna hit 198. So we're almost at 200 proposals, and we've never had anybody said no, and we've never had anything go wrong.
I can't even imagine saying no after that. Like, so what about the actual, will you marry me script? Do you write people a script?
Yeah, so and this is just my honest opinion. I believe if there's one thing that needs to truly belong to the person proposing, it is the script. And I believe it should come from their heart.
Right.
Yes, I get some clients that will be like, I really just don't know what to say. And then I just imagine my girl and I go, this is what I would tell my
Mhm.
person, right? And this is how, like, the reasons I care and just the moments that it took to get to this point, and all those moments those baby steps led to this moment of our future, and that starts now. And they're just like, oh my gosh, that's so good. And then they get inspired from that. But I don't personally want to write it for them. I believe that we're already helping them enough with this proposal setup and getting their being inspired by it, of course, to give them a unique proposal. But when it comes to the words, I believe it should come from their heart.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, other than same-sex couples, have you had a girl propose to a guy?
Two times, two
Really?
times. Yes, and it's a very niche, when it happens, and it's usually when a girl is going into the military.
Okay.
Or at least both times, that's what we've found out, and we welcome it. We welcome more of those. I think it's honestly, I think it's adorable. I think it's funny because it kind of demasculates the guy a little bit, but also at the same time, when two people love each other, you know what I mean? Like hey, maybe the guy comes back later and proposes, at a different time, but I just love I love love, right? So that's why I do this. So I welcome all types of different proposals.
So you are dealing with like one of the most emotional parts of a couple's life. Like, can you share with us the most touching reaction that you've ever encountered with your couples?
Man, I think the reason that I do this and that my team loves doing this so much is we don't get many proposals where there aren't tears shed,
Mhm.
even from our staff. And we do this every single weekend or week, and we still tear up because it's new people experiencing new emotions. And I mean, to answer your question, like, yes, of course, we get the typical, like, they just start bawling as soon as they see the setup. But sometimes we get girls that scream, but in a good way.
Yeah.
It's like unexpected. We're like, whoa, you know. But they're screaming like all up and down. I actually have a video of it. We had a coordinator in Atlanta last weekend of all places, just this last weekend, and she's screaming, walking down, and I'm just watching this video going, I hope she's screaming in happiness, but you found out 30 seconds later that it was all love, and they were very, very excited. But yeah, we get when there's the emotion at the wedding, right?
Mhm.
The engagement is just that precursor, but it's that more of a surprise moment of emotion. The wedding, is coming. You've been planning it for 6 months to a year. The engagement is usually more out of like they know it's happening, but it's not like been planned forever, right? It's been planned for maybe a few weeks to a month, and when it happens, the girl is definitely surprised. And so I love that reaction even more so than the wedding reaction.
Yeah, I bet. So obviously you came up with this idea, seeing like a need for it or whatever, because what common mistakes have you seen or have you encountered with people, doing their own proposals?
Yeah. Besides my dad's story, which is what kind of started that whole thing, you, it's a true story. And I make fun of him for it for sure. But, you see the typical like, okay, I guess I'll just do it at a dinner, drop it in the champagne, or if you're
Right.
really really crazy, you put in a slice of cake and hope she doesn't swallow it. Like, but I've even come. If you don't mind me sharing one quick story of a client, he actually called me one time, and he was at the airport. And by the way, just for all your viewers, like, this is not just for 20s or 30s. Like, I have clients that are in their 50s. I mean, it doesn't matter, 60s even.
Oh,
And this gentleman called me. I believe he was mid 50s, and he's like, "Hey, my girl and I are coming to Nashville right now." I could literally hear him. He's at the airport. I hear all this stuff going on, and I'm like, "Okay, how can I help?" Because I give free consultations. Like, I'm not trying to take anyone's money. If they just need to talk for a few minutes, I'm all about it because I just want to help them.
yeah.
He's like, she loves planes. And I said, okay. He's like, I'm thinking about proposing the plane. I said, okay, have you talked to like the stewardesses? Are you guys in special seats, like first class? Do you have champagne being brought to you? Like, is it a special plane? And he's like, no, we're just flying Spirit. We're just going to be there. It's just going to be normal. I was just thinking about getting up to go to the bathroom and then just
Lord.
getting on one knee. And I said, listen, I'm not trying to be biased here, but
Yeah.
please don't do that. Yeah.
Right?
There's no thought put into that. I'm not saying a plain proposal can't be amazing, but there has to be things like the wedding singer. I think I brought that up. Like, he was playing the song over the intercom. You know what I mean? Like, there was something
Yeah.
said to the plain proposal. Anywho, ended up convincing him away from that. We did a beautiful rooftop, giant "Marry Me" letters, and she was ecstatic. The whole thing was great.
Because can you imagine someone who probably had to get up to go to the bathroom and he's like there, and oh my God, it would have been so terrible.
Yeah. And
On
these are the
Spirit,
stories.
nothing against Spirit, but come on.
And these are just some of the stories that we get, and
Yeah.
it just reinstills like the fact that like I'm never going to stop doing this. You know what I mean? And even as
Yeah.
other companies pop up across the U.S., like, hey, there's enough to go around. People are proposing every single day,
Sure.
and I'm
Yeah.
just here to help as many people as I can.
So, if someone wants to propose to their partner, how early should they reach out to you?
Ideally, it depends on how extravagant or exuberant they want their proposal to be.
Right.
Um, I hate to even say this, but I do my best to not turn anybody away if I can help it.
Uh-huh.
Um, if it's in Nashville and if I'm in town and I am available, I'm not gonna lie. I've had people call me 24 hours ahead of time and say, "Please, I tried to plan it myself. Everything fell through. I don't know what to do." I'm not gonna leave them hanging, right? I'm not gonna say, "I'm sorry, we have a 2-week minimum" or anything. But for anybody watching, I would love a month. A month really allows me to use the team that I have on staff to call the venues, make sure we can get the best prices for you, make sure we can source anything that maybe we don't already have in our units. You know what I mean? Like there's so many unique proposal items and things that we can get done. We can have entire quartets playing songs just for them that they, it's specific to their relationship. But I can't do that with 24 hours notice. So,
So let's talk about the budget and cost. Like, how do you, or is it by the hour? Is it how do people pay you? Like, what? How does? I don't want to say
sure.
how much does it cost, but let's just talk about what you can share about that.
Yeah, no, I'm always very transparent about this because I think being upfront right off the bat alleviates some of that pressure from the conversation. Like I don't try to be a salesperson. I really want this person to only have to worry about the proposal. So we've done proposals from anywhere from $1,500 all the way to $15,000. And there's proposals that are even more expensive than that, but that's not a typical by any stretch. I would say on average, people are spending about 3 to 5,000 on a proposal, and that's usually inclusive of the rooftop venue costs, the photographer costs. Maybe they want a videographer, a musician, a beautiful large setup
Yeah.
display. But if they only want something simple, yeah, we can do that for $1,000 or $1,500. It just depends what they want. You know what I mean? What they want to come across through their personality to make it special for their significant other.
Like in my opinion, I mean, people spend thousands of dollars on flowers. I think the proposal itself is a million times more important than the flowers at your wedding.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
I mean, I really
it's.
do.
And can you tell us about the structure of your team? Like how many are on your team in Nashville, and do you have like a person on the ground in other cities? I know you said you expanded.
Yeah. So we have a couple event coordinators in each of our cities, and I always make sure I have 2 to 3 photographers on staff, 2 to 3 musicians on staff. And then, of course, we coordinate everything from the Nashville office. So my team here is just a little bit bigger, but we're the ones that have, we're researching all the venues, we're researching everybody, making sure that things go off without a hitch.
That's great. Well, if you need any help in Mexico or Arizona, just let me know. I'm happy to help you with anything.
Would love it.
How can people, well, Mexico's, people love getting married in Mexico. How can people find you?
Yeah. So if you go to our website, it is takemyhandproposals.com. We're
Okay.
also on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and it's all the same thing. It's Take My Hand Proposals.
Great. And for anyone watching, we're going to edit this, and on our YouTube channel, Facebook, we will post all of his socials and how to get in touch with him. What a great story. What a cool idea. I absolutely love it. One more question. Do
Yeah.
you post like your proposals? I mean, I know that's a super private thing, but do people let you post the examples of their proposals on your site or on Instagram?
Yeah, sometimes. So basically, what we do is within our contract, we ask the question, "Hey, do you mind if we
Uh-huh.
share your special moment, with some of our, potential next clients, so they can see what a special moment was, what we can do for them." And then usually they say yes. There's not many unless it's an
Yeah,
upscale private, one.
right.
But yeah, usually we're allowed to do that.
Well, and because I mean, then people would get, oh, I kind of want that for my proposal, you
Hmm.
know, sort of that idea or whatever. But
You
how
know,
exciting. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I had one more thing I just thought of, 'cause especially since you're in real estate and everything. So we actually just had someone reach out to us yesterday, and they said, "Hey, I'm a realtor, and I have a client and his girl, they just bought a house, and he wants to propose in the new house." And I thought, "That's such a cool idea. I've never had that before." So if anybody out there, they're buying a house, they're a couple, they're not engaged
Yep.
yet, we'd love to come set up a beautiful display before you guys get all up in there and setting everything up. Do something beautiful. So just more ideas that I keep thinking of.
That's such, yeah, absolutely. I mean, because a house is sort of like your start of your new life together.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect environment to do that proposal for what's gonna what's the positive things to come in the future. And for those that are thinking about it, it is a great time to buy a house because there is lots of inventory. There's 15% more listings than there was last year. So you know what that means, that the prices are generally lower. There's concessions right across the United States that the sellers will offer concessions, which will help you with your closing costs. And of course, if you deal with one of our agents, you get additional 10% of their commission on closings. So lots of reasons. Anyways, go out there, Zach, and make some more memories. I'll be watching you.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Have a great weekend.
You too.